In the last video, oh sweet, I got like 7 minutes, so this is going to be a quite a long video. So in the last part of my how I got into pro wrestling, so I talk about how I ended up doing a gimmick similar to that of the Big Boss Man. Um, I, I mean, I didn't have too much money, and I didn't wanted to invest too much money in the tights and all that kind of stuff. So I just decided to go with a cheaper way. But let me tell you, like wrestling in the work boots, that made it jumping and taking the moves a little bit more difficult because the boots um, were heavy. It didn't allow me the flex too much agility. Um, but anyway, but yeah, once I got in the match, I got the spot in the roster, and after my first match with my trainer, El Roquero or Pepe Gomez, after that match, he began putting me working as a face, and then we used to do our shows every Sunday. So every Sunday we'll have a show. So I will be working pretty much every Sunday through the year, um, and during the week I'll be training on Tuesday and Thursday. That's what I was taking during practice, like that. Yeah, that's me when I was younger. Um, and then we'll do it in shows. Sometimes we'll do shows like Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes we'll do shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There was one time that we did that show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That was the anniversary of his company, and we had three shows back to back, and that was a killer. Like at that point, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I came to appreciate what the people in the WWC did. So yeah, this is and then one of my first matches, and I remember it because I did like working with Sam, and he was a good wrestler, and he never hurt me or anything. But I learned a lot with him. It was with against Crush Machine. Crush Machine is the one is the one in the wrestle mask. I'm the one without the mask, and there was quite a good chunk, good amount of people in there. Um, that's me taking a bear hug, um, and and that's one you might be able to see. That was the referee, and you can see the crowd in the background a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, this was like my first match, and it was packed. And I remember that match. Like my trainer was managing the Crush Machine. He was the heel. I was the face. So, um, and the crowd just popped, and it was amazing. But at the same time, I was still a little bit nervous. But like, honestly, the crowd worked okay, and then also the experience of like, because my opponent, he was bigger than me. I didn't have enough strength, so I left hand and both sides him, so I had to wrestle in a very different way. But the crowd got into it, and when you are beginning to in the initial stages, so of your career, so you're going to find yourself like uh, losing most matches, and that's what happened most of the time. I will lose the match either for interference, or they will cheat, or something like that. Eventually came to the point that, and I remember this, that they wanted to turn me heel, and I was like, okay, sure. So it was one match, and Crush Machine has turned into a baby face, and 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 he got a challenge by another opponent who had turned just into the heel side, and I interfered in the match. Pretty much, I got in the ring and pretty much attacked the face, and that's when helped the heel take the victory, and that's when I turned into a heel, and I decided to change my character a little bit. So I went with the classic colors that any indie wrestler has used at one point in their career, which is red and black. So I decided to make some boots. And I wanted the boots to be like back to back in red, but they made it a little bit different, as you can see from the picture. And that's me in there. So I was wearing tights. I was also wearing a t-shirt because I never felt comfortable showing my upper body um, until later on. But yeah, I was like 24, and I began wearing the wrestling boots, and oh my god, Sean, I started using the wrestling boots. Like, I felt more comfortable because it gave me more agility. I didn't have the weight restricted weight that I had from using work boots to wrestle in the ring, so it gave me more adaptability in the ring, and it was interesting because I was back then at 210 pounds, so well, no, I was at 190. Sorry, 190 pounds. So it was easier for me to move. Um, and there's another picture in here. That's me. This was in the dressing room, which was underneath the house of my trainer, because we didn't have an arena, and we're poor, so most of the Sundays were run um, near my trainer's house. So it was kind of like backyardish to an extent, but it wasn't a backyard because my trainer, like I said, the thing that made my trainer um, a good one, and it was that he used to work for WWC, and WWC in Puerto Rico, like any person that knows wrestling in Puerto Rico, WWC is one of the biggest and the oldest promotion in Puerto Rico, and not everybody gets to work there. My trainer was able to work there. He never made it big, but he was in the roster, and he was kind of like what WWE had as enhancement talent. So we'll work with big names and make them look like mostly sell everything and all that kind of stuff, so that way they could showcase what they could do. But getting to work for WWC is still big. So, and that was the credibility that I had with my trainer, because he had worked with them, so he had the experience from working for that company, and I had the hopes that someday I could get into WWC, but that never happened. Anyway, for